Today we will be seeing Oracle functions. A few of them are listed over here. They are primarily math functions. So we will begin with this list. First we'll be seeing the absolute value function. Let's refer to the Oracle docs. It returns the absolute value of the parameter that has been passed to the function. It takes a single parameter. So select so as we see the output is displayed as 4. Now let's pass a negative integer as a parameter and we see the output. It's the absolute value of the negative value. Let's try to apply this ABS function to a column. Select ABS. Let's take into consideration this table created just for the purpose of these functions, the demo of these functions. So we have two columns. Let's specify the values into it as shown, and let's make one or two values as negative. So let's make this as negative and comment it, commit it. Select absolute value of value 1 table, value 1 column, and ABS value 2 from demo math functions. So we see the value of -2, instead of getting displayed as -2, it's displayed as 2. Let's also run the query without the absolute function. Let's directly write select. Okay, we will just remove this. Okay, now running the query without the ABS function applied on the column, it displays the exact value that was originally present in the row, which gets converted to a 2 instead of a -2 while displaying. So the next method is average method. So let's refer to the average method document. Here we have average of expression over analytic cause. Okay, so basically select average of a column name. So we will write AVG we have this already coming up. So let's execute it. So it counts the it calculates the average of these values in the column value 1 and displays that single value. Let's try the average value function on value 2 column, which is the 0.4 since this is a negative value. So the next method is binary to numerical. In this method, binary to numerical takes input as single as the binary representation of a decimal number, converts it into a decimal number and displays the output. So select bin to num. These are the bits. Select from dual. And that comes out to be 7. So if we were to write a 0001, that would be a numerical 1. If we were to write a 002, so this is a binary representation of a 0. Then if we were to write 010, that is a number 2. So this will be how bin to num is used. I think it can be used for creating masking values. BITAND. So BITAND function, let's open its documentation, treats its input and output as vectors of bits. So we can have BITAND 6 and 3, and which does the AND of the binary bits. So let's do one thing. We will do select binary to number from dual. This is a 0. Let's try to execute all of this at the same time. Okay, so we have different query windows that got opened, query tabs. Okay, fine. So this one is binary representation of 0, as we know. This one is a binary representation for 2, and this one 4, and the last one is 7. This makes us easy to visualize the values. Okay, so okay, bit and. Now we have to do a bit and. So let's do a bit and between 4 and 2. Let's close all of these windows. And execute this query. And that comes to a 0 because 4 and 2, when you are adding the bits, it's going to result into a 0, as we see 0, 1, 1, 0 and 0, 0. So let's try to AND these numbers with the number 7. So 4 and 7, we get a 4 because whatever the mm, whatever the digits are in whatever the binary bits are in 4, they don't get inverted when we are ANDing with 7. Similarly, we can do it with 2. It will result in a 2, and we will do it with a 0. Result in a 0. So this is about the BITAND function. The next is the cast function. So let's see the documentation. Cast. Okay, let's try it on a number as integer from dual. It returns as a 12 by removing the decimal digits because we are converting it into an int. So let's try this on a null. it returns a null, and let's try it on a negative number. Okay, so let's move ahead with the next function is the ceiling function. CEIL or ceiling function. So if we are doing it as from dual, returns the smallest integer that is greater than or equal to n. The number n can always be written as difference the function takes an argument, any numeric data type or any non-numeric data type that can be converted. So the number n can always be written as the difference of an integer k and a positive fraction f such that 0 is less than f and n is equal to k minus f. So this is a ceiling function, COALESCE function. Let's see the documentation for that. It returns the first non-null value in the group, in the list of parameters. So as we see, we have these values. So now we have these values. The next we will see is count. Let's see the documentation for that. It returns a number of rows returned by a query. So let us there are 5 rows, so it's returned 5. Okay, let us try this count distinct. So we have here two duplicate rows. Let us for the time being delete this row and again run the query. So it is calculating these two rows as a single row because we are calculating a distinct value, and otherwise if we were to do select star from, let's do a select count star it returns a 4, but when we do select count distinct, the result is 3 because these two rows are counted as 1. The next moving forward is floor. .34 from 12. It returns at 12. If we had it as returns at 12. Max and min. So we have select max value 1 from demo functions. It returns the max value present in this particular column, and let's make this as a negative value and check for a min function. Min value 2. Minimum is -1. So then let's check out mod. Mod. Let's see its parameters. Okay, it will be taking two parameters. Suppose we have 12,5. Mod will be 2. That will be the remainder after doing this division. The next is power. It calculates 3 to the power 2. Remainder is same as mod. Round. If we have numerous decimal places and we want to round it till 2 decimal places, this is how we do it. The next is sign, which returns a sign. This is a square root function. This is a sum function. Okay. So we have an addition of all the values. Then we have a two number function. Two number. I think it can take two parameters. Let's check this out. Let's check the documentation. Okay, default on conversion error. Let's try this. Default 0 on conversion error. Let's okay, we don't have the other parameter, so let's move ahead. The truncate function, it removes all the decimal places because we've not specified the parameter truncate till how many digits. Let's specify 3. So it truncates it till 3 decimal places. If we input it as a -1, it will basically flip the units digit to 0. So if we have a 3-digit number, suppose, it will flip the 1 digit to the left of decimal point. If we were to do it as flip 3, it simply outputs as 0, and when we truncate it to -2, it flips these two zeros, flips these values to 0. So these are the functions that we have seen today.